Hello, everybody! It is us, Irrational Radio. We are here with Old for Gold again on your wonderful Monday night. I am joined by Eric, who is playing Sir Took, Brett, who is playing Arlen, and John, too, who is playing Jalal.
He said them all right.
I did. See, now you've ruined it. Now something is going to be different, and it's going to be all your fault. But it's okay. It's alright. We last joined these guys. They had planned on robbing a museum, but instead just asked for the item, and the museum was like, yeah, sure. It was actually pretty cool. These guys, instead of doing National Treasure, they just walked in and asked for the Declaration of Independence because they said, hey, we're gonna find, the Santa Maria with it. And the museum was like, yeah, sure, okay, that sounds like a good idea. But they actually, in fact, asked for not the Declaration of Independence, but the map to the sunken city of Quamar, which is a mysterious, broken city from way before the Red Queen fell, that was ruled over by a night god that is now personally involved with our good friend Sir Took here, through a contract that he made upon finding the Eye of Misha and subsequently dying. But if you want to see, he didn't die, so he says.
Absolutely.
So you guys were told by the museum's curator, a severe woman, that it would going to be 2 days until you got the map, as they had to do some paperwork and find a replacement. You guys stayed at an inn, which of course I did not write down, but you guys were there to pass the time. You were approached by one of the agents of the loan shark known as Massey, oh shit, what's the name of that creature? Tabaxi, yes. I kept wanting to say Khajiit, but that's not correct. A Tabaxi cat person. Yes, he's very big, fat, likes jewels and cat treats. You guys were approached
specifically mentioned. I don't think.
Well, I'm gonna give little drops about his character, every time I describe him. Like, likes cat treats. He's got this spot behind his ear. If you pet that.
AIDS brought out a chest full of like kibbles and bits.
Yeah.
He's cat AIDS?
Yeah, but like the kind that help the cat, not the kind that
Oh,
the cat.
feline AIDS, but like
Right.
helpers, not
Right.
like
AID.
the disease.
The bad, horrible
It's not
disease.
the horrible disease. I you never know these days, right?
No, you don't want to be insensitive. Right. So,
All right, see you next week.
right, that was Old for Gold, guys. Thank you. We are going to begin with you guys at the end of the 2 days that you've been waiting. You've spent these last 2 days hanging out in Damthur, the capital, not going super far because it is a fairly dangerous city, and your guide, Azran, the leader of the All Watchers cult, has suggested that you stay close to the inn that you're staying at. So as to make sure that you guys don't do anything, any shenanigans that will derail this entire story, we're going to begin at the end of those 2 days. It's been reasonably calm, uneventful. You guys have gotten drunk a few times, played a few games of Dragon Chess, lost them, of course, to Kartuk, the Dragon Chess champion, and your master research. So yeah, we will begin with you guys basically waking up. You come out to the dining area of the inn. You see Azran, the Red Orc leader of the All Watchers, who is accepting the parcel from the very, very stern woman, Lady Orc, that ran the museum, the National Museum of Damthur. And he is basically saying, we'll take very good care of this. You better! This is a very important artifact from this museum. It would be a horrible, horrible shame if anything happened to it, or if it fell into the hands of pirates or ruffians of any kind of sort. She turns to you three as you come down, and she says, "Ah, yes. I've done a little research about your little band since you walked into my office 2 days ago. You're a brand new group of treasure hunters, aren't you? Well, speak
I've
up."
been doing this for some time. This is not my first rodeo.
Yeah, I've like, spent a fair amount of time out there, around and whatnot. But like, it's pretty new on the far as far as like the whole Minnesota chains thing or whatever. I don't remember what we decided his name.
Minneapolis James.
Minneapolis James.
Yeah.
Oh, that's close.
Yeah, close.
Yeah.
I think he
It's the
changed
right
it.
state.
Yeah,
Yeah,
right.
I started as Minnesota.
She kind of purses her lips together and says, "The fictional references do not spark confidence in this endeavor, but I have also done a little research in Azran here, and I have much more faith in his ability to succeed than yours." So she
Well,
gives...
he wasn't the one who got you the eye in the first place. So really, you could say that, on a technical level, we're kind of better than he is.
Well,
I mean, he had to buy it. I mean, we got it. I'm just saying.
that remains to be seen, doesn't it?
Well, you can open your eyes a little bit more if you wanted to. You could probably see a lot more if you did that.
I am done with this conversation. Good day, gentlemen. And again, nothing better happen to that map, or I will be very, very cross. And she turns on her heels
That's
and
not
walks out
like-
the door.
She wasn't like being, like implying that in fact we should find a way to like lose it, right? That wasn't like one of those wink situations. Like,
No,
I mean,
she
I
was-
didn't see a wink or whatever, but
She was saying
No,
something about a
she's-
cross.
She's the way that she speaks. It definitely comes across that way. Should we
Severe.
lose it, we could maybe use that as a fallback.
well, yeah, no, that seems like a pretty solid strategy, actually. Just honestly.
Wait, you weren't going to do that already?
Oh man, we could not. Well, anyway, I mean, cross that bridge, when we've come to it. I
And
suppose.
Strand comes up and kind of crosses his arms and says, "I wouldn't cross that woman. She
No
scares
bridges.
me."
It's like a figure of speech. Sorry.
He sighs deeply, heavily, and with great regret. All right, well, I have a small band of some adventurers, much like yourselves, who are going to come with us. They are going to make sure that nothing happens while we make our way to the sunken city. It's a very long trip. By my count, it's 316 miles into the desert. And we're not talking about the soft dunes of the central Meeshan Desert. We are talking about the hard-packed and razor-sharp sands of the far east, where the transcendent wastes devour the sand and anything that steps into that area. It is not a place for faint of heart, and it is nothing like what you are used to.
How long would you stay up riding that one there, bud?
Oh. Anyway.
That wasn't even that wasn't even an Azran. That was a Kyron.
Shifts uncomfortable.
Yeah, right. Wet.
We probably should have used this past 2 days to purchase some new shoes if
Well,
we're going to
I'm-
be standing on razor sharp sand.
Well, I've been saying we should go to the armorer, but you keep saying, no, just drink more. No, drink more. And I thought you wanted me to stop drinking. You're giving me mixed signals here.
Yeah, well, alcohol is cheaper than you frivolously purchasing.
Not
armor that you
dying?
don't need.
I
What-
could
what do you
have
mean?
found a cheaper pair of boots than what I've spent on booze in the past 2 days. I'm sure of
Right.
that.
It's like you don't even think with your noggin. You're thinking with your coin purse right now, Arlen, and I think you need to calm down. And that's not even a euphemism. Seriously, it's your coin purse.
He kind of shakes his head and goes, It would be suicide to try to walk that entire way. I have also acquired a few Hyatt lizards for our journey.
Nice.
They are,
That make it quite a bit better.
unfortunately, they're not carriages. They're not carriaged. So we're going to have to ride them on saddle, which is a little bit more jarring, I would say, but you'll get used to it.
Well-
Okay.
Don't people get like real fatigued when they're in the saddle all day?
Yes, and Hyatt lizards even more so, as because of the constant back and forth swaying motion of the lizard's body.
Hmm.
It's a bad form to get lizards sick halfway through the journey.
There any cures?
Getting off the lizard and walking, but then you're going to be devoured by the bone wasps.
Yeah, I don't.
Seems like worse. Maybe.
Yeah, I don't like that. That's not very. I don't think I want to partake.
I once ran a guide, and a merchant was on an uncarriaged Hyatt lizard, and he decided to walk into some razor rocks instead of trying to hold on to the back of the lizard for a moment longer. He made it maybe 30 feet before I had to just strap him to the back of my lizard and take him like that. It took days to get the smell of vomit out of his scales.
All right, so onward.
Well,
Yeah.
now I'm thinking, right? We're in a town. We're in a
That's true.
town that thank you, sir. We're in a town that may or may not sell things that can help with this journey,
I have
such
already...
as like armor,
that seems like it
maybe
would
like a few
probably be-
pillows we can put down on the saddles. Armor again.
I'm not sure that like armor is going to. That seems like it would actually make the whole situation.
Now you got to
worse.
think about it like this, sir. You're protecting yourself from the harm of saddle sores.
But it's like more weight to like
Right.
have to balance with your core as you're being wobbled or whatever.
Listen, I have some lightly used Susamen silk that you can borrow to cushion yourself if you have unusually sensitive loins. You can tell me. It's fine.
I have unusually sensitive loins.
Okay, well, when we load up the Hyatt lizards, I'll give you some of the silks, and you just stuff them in your breeches, and it'll help a lot.
Well, let's maybe not. I don't go that far, but I'll put it on the saddle.
Okay, all right.
At least until I can find another red elf artifact, maybe loins instead of an arm next time. I'll never have to worry about it again.
Bronze card piece or something.
Right.
I wouldn't wipe your face with these. I do put them in my breeches. I
That's how
also
you get
have
pink eye.
unusually sensitive loins.
Do you not have underwear on? No
He kinda
undergarments?
just gives you a look. Anyway, I have the food and supplies that we need. But if you do
His
need
construct
to-
arm slowly go over his mouth.
No, I said don't want to put those to your face. It's
No, it's his arm. It's not that. Fuck no.
He says, I like I said, I have many supplies that we need, a few adventurers packs. But if you feel like you need to stop before we leave, you can meet me outside the city gates, the eastern gates, and I will help you saddle up the Hyatt lizards.
There's only one small thing that I think I will have to stop by and purchase before we go, but I think I can grab that like as we're heading out toward the edge of town.
Is it the same thing I'm thinking about?
Is it? Are you thinking about a parasol?
I regret even asking.
Because that's like what I would like.
I was gonna say a ladder on the off chance that we run across anything that might not be traversable.
Sure, yeah, like, a 10-foot pit.
Right. But I'm sure your parasol will come right in handy when we're falling into a spike trap on the bottom of a pit. So, good thinking.
Alright.
Keep it up.
I've read stories of people who use parasols to cushion their falls.
Don't you fucking dare. Don't you fucking dare Mary Poppins me right now.
I think I've heard of those stories too.
Yes,
That's
Minneapolis
parasailing, I think. Minneapolis Poppins. That's people.
they're just all named
Big
Minneapolis.
family.
Minneapolis. It's a family name.
Happening place.
Yep.
Family first name.
Yeah.
I don't know. Hey, you know what? That's how it works. Some places, I guess. Anyway.
So
Korea.
he leaves the inn. Says, like he said, he'll meet you on the eastern side of town. You guys have free reign to go wherever you'd like within the city.
Sertic would like to see if he can find a parasol. Real
Yeah,
quick.
I could probably find an extendable ladder where he goes for a parasol. Unless he's going to a fucking parasol depot that only sells parasols.
If there is one of those, that's absolutely
It's
what
the
Sertic
capital
would
of Misha. So yeah, there is a singular store that says it sells. They sell parasols, fine silks, some ladies' garments. You walk in and the woman behind the counter gives you a really strange look and goes, "Hello, are you looking for something for your missus or?"
No, I'm going to be spending some time out in the desert. I thought it would be beneficial if I found something to protect my delicate complexion.
Ah,
Aren't you like super sunburned?
a little bit roasted from the,
He's
the
like spent
last.
his whole life out in the waste, basically. So he's very much like a
She
sunken.
kind of looks you up and down and says, "Ah, I see. Are you sure parasol is quite the
Yes,
tool for?"
as frilly and lacy as possible, please.
Well, he kept saying something about a parakeet, but I don't think that's really going to keep him covered. So,
No,
No.
much less. Yeah, very small.
Well, we have several colors. I imagine you want something light. Maybe this babe's powdered blue. It does match your eyes.
That is quite nice. You think it looks good? He's gonna pick it up and do like a pose with it.
Yes, sir. I'm sure that any stranger you meet in the waste is going to be incredibly impressed with this parasol.
Good.
well, we have a knack for that.
That's important to me.
Yes,
As a discerning gentleman of taste, I would
I can tell,
love
sir.
to purchase this.
Of course. That would be 5 gold coins, please.
Can I assume that Sertuk didn't go here without any money because I don't have any on my
Sure,
sheet? We would've
yes.
paid some amount of money.
Yeah, I'll
Yeah.
I
take
don't
it
know
off
that we
the.
divvied any of it up.
I'll take
Right.
it off the
Yeah.
people funds. The funds.
Yeah.
Okay.
We
Well,
have plenty.
I honestly think it's more in character for Arlen to keep all the money because we just spent it on booze.
And
He's been
over
just
there talking
doling
about
out.
like 3 sets of armor.
Right.
What do you think? It's like elf made. Like the last dwarf worked on this. They said it's worth like 1,000,000 gold, but I think it looks good on me.
It does. It's pretty
and
striking.
would each purchase of a parasol comes with a free bonnet. Would you like?
Oh, wonderful.
Oh, there you go. Yes, powdered blue to match the parasol.
That's
Of
wonderful.
course.
That's nice. I like the small flower pattern you have there.
Yes, it's hand
yeah, we'll
stitched. Yes,
Pull it on his head, I guess.
that looks dashing, sir. Just
Now-
Wonderful.
I,
I'm pretty
I,
sure he's still not wearing a shirt. Also,
You just look like a baby with a parasol.
a sunburnt, lanky baby.
this is good. Enjoy this.
All right. Well, good day, gentlemen.
Thank you.
do you know where they sell ladders?
Ladders. Yes.
Like
of
the
course.
ones that you like step up and
Right. Yes. I've also heard those called stick steps.
Right.
colloquially.
Yeah,
I've
that's
never
what I was
heard
gonna say.
Well, yes, there is there's poles, ladders, and pipes. They have got some of the best long pieces of material that you could want, arranged in various shapes, from tubes to square dowels to.
Square dowels.
Yes.
Well, it's not
To
a doll
ladders.
anymore, right?
Yes, I have a large step
Excellent.
dowel. A ladder. All right, and is that like nearby or?
Yes. It's actually just across the street. Thankfully
You
enough.
look behind him and there's just
It's a
Oh my
huge
God.
sign that just says
Big
ladders.
Giant, yeah,
Ladder
Yeah,
Expo.
giant ladder.
Yeah, exactly. The whole building is got ladders stapled all over it.
people are climbing up. That's the structural integrity.
You would, yeah, of course. Display
Yeah.
ladders, you know,
Yep.
test, a bunch of 10-foot poles that you can, like chain to something, so you
Like
can
using the toilet
poke
at
at
home.
stuff.
Right,
Right.
yeah, exactly, yeah.
This is a
So I
wonderful
hate to
story.
trouble you for one more question, but I'm
course,
also
no.
looking for like an apothecary or a curative shop.
Well, there's apothecary and curative shop are us also just next door.
Wow, what a
That seems like
coincidence! The
yeah.
things
See,
we need are
the
all right
ladder-
here on this
yeah.
block.
The ladders on that building connect to the upper floor, which is that shop. It's up there.
Yes,
It's
yes,
You have to take
exactly.
a ladder to get up there. Think of all the people who are like injured and can't climb ladders. They need
Well, you know,
curatives.
That's
yes,
Quite
it's-
Spartan, but I like it.
Yes, the weak can't get healed. It's not, sort them out that way.
You look below the ladder.
4 parasols in the stand. Blood for the blood god.
oh my god, blood for the blood. Yeah, just go on, wait. Oh, yes, that's wonderful.
The basement's a morgue too. I really like that. It adds
Yes.
a lot of
I
character.
feel like
A
this
morgue
is all I
/
own
code
of
breaking.
All
approach.
right.
Yes.
Y'all really got it all in this city. Can we
All in one
move
block?
old here? Can we just like live here instead?
Well, we'd have to sell the old shop and purchase a new one. That would be an expense.
Solomon, Jolman.
Why don't we just shelf it for now and we can come back to it later?
That's fair.
Put a pin in that.
No, the shelf store is right over here. You see, you look down the block a little bit.
I have other customers to attend to. As interesting as this interaction was, I think I'm going to go tend to them now. Have a good day, and if you
Are
need
there any other customers?
No, there's no one else in this shop.
I will be sure to tell everyone I meet where I got my fine parasol.
Excellent.
It's gonna
Good.
work out.
Thank
Very
you.
proud, kind of like.
As you guys walk out, the shop sign goes to closed.
All right.
Strange. What a coincidence. Got in just before they closed.
It's like morning.
What are all those other customers going to do?
We might,
Well, it's fine. The next door is the door store, so they have like plenty
Right.
of doors. To walk
Yep.
through.
that's true.
Real fake doors. Yeah, these are real fake doors. You just tired of your doors in your house being real?
Brick walls behind every door. There's
Exactly.
a wall in this block.
Real fake doors. All right,
Come by
so
the door that leads to
They're
Uh,
fake.
the,
Really?
the ladder is going to cost you probably 2 gold. Not
Do you feel like is that not an adventuring gear thing?
I feel
mean,
like
I
it's so
understand how it could
big.
not
Yeah.
be.
Yeah.
It's one of the
right.
window ladders, right?
a what ladder?
It's the ones that they start small and then you can extend them out.
Yes, but again, even the extending ladders are incredibly heavy because they still have to be, long enough to extend out that far.
I think the fact that we had 3 or 4 adventuring gears with us and never got a ladder.
no
from them,
ladders. Yeah.
on the last
Yeah.
adventure is
Mhm.
like you sort of.
I
wrote
will
that-
allow rope. Rope is going to be in adventuring kits, like probably about 100 feet of rope. But I think like ladders or poles or things are going to be a little bit. You're gonna
I'm
have
going to
to
walk into the
specify.
shop and
Okay.
I'm going to put 10 gold on the table.
The shopkeeper raises his eyebrows. Yeah.
Top of the line ladder. I want the best you got, and I want it to be sturdy, and I want it to be pretty, and I want it to be kind of light.
I'll tell you what. You throw another 5 gold in there. I got you a ladder.
Are you fleecing me right now?
Oh no, sir. You want to see it first?
I like yeah, I do.
Okay, it goes to the back and brings it out, and it's it looks like it's been carved out of like graphite. It's kind of that gray, kind of sparkly, look to it.
Fucking carbon fiber.
It's got swoops going down one side, and each rung has been specially engraved with reliefs of smaller ladders. He says, "Oh, right here. It's right here. This is elven made ladder. And I'm not talking about northern elves. I'm talking about this is a Melaloon elf ladder." He says, "Now watch this. Holda." And he lets go of the ladder, and it stays standing straight up. And he climbs up, jumps on it, wiggles it, he like goes like this. See? Goes back down. 15 gold.
I give him 20 gold.
There you go.
Yeah, I'm making sure that
all purchases need to go through me in the future.
Oh, and you're climbing a ladder outside right now to get to the apothecary. Calm down.
Thank you very much.
You got it. No, you're good. And just so it took from the bottom, like calling up not helpful stuff. From
like sweating, and
somebody's spotting me down there.
Yeah,
remember.
I totally get you. Yep, absolutely.
The code word is Ofta. It means stand in Elvish.
Let me write that down in a very nondiscreet character sheet I have in my bag right now.
Mm-hmm.
Is that like the noise you make when you fall from like a medium height?
Ofta. Yeah.
I thought you were saying character sheet.
Gee!
Character sheet. I can see how that's a curse in somewhere. Mm-hmm.
What did he say the ladder was called?
It is a Melaloon ladder.
Yellow Lune?
Yes, I believe so.
Well, thank you very much, and I'll make sure anyone who looks at this ladder knows exactly where it came from.
All right. No refunds.
I don't like that you said that right after I purchased it.
No one does.
All right. Thank you very much. And he'll just walk out the door.
That's a 10-foot ladder, too, by the way. Magic 10-foot
Okay.
ladder.
Hell yeah.
I finally get my old creaky bones to the apothecary shop.
All right. You walk inside. It's dirty, dingy. There is a red-headed, wild-haired gnome woman standing over a very, very large cauldron, frantically throwing different handfuls of things in, cursing up a storm.
Knock, knock. Good evening.
Oh, yes. Excuse me. She hops off the step ladder and comes up to you. What can I do for you?
I'm going to be traveling into the Transcena Wastes. I
That's
need
not
to know...
very smart.
Oh, I know it's not, but here we are. So I need to know if there's any poisons, venoms, anything that I need to watch out for out there.
Do you need alphabetically a list, alphabetically, or in like worst to least of concern?
Let's just go to like most common to least.
All right. She goes under the desk and pulls out an enormous tome and slaps it on the top. How much time do you got?
Not probably enough for that.
Tell you what. She goes in the back and comes out and brings out a small trunk about this size. And she puts it on the table in front of you and opens it up. And inside is maybe 25 or 30 vials of different antidotes. And she says, this will cover just about all the most important ones. This doesn't come cheap, though.
Like a user manual for something like that? Or do we just like try them until they work?
Just start with the light-colored ones and go darker. No, yeah, there is a small booklet that comes with like a guide, and this will basically be the equivalent of an adventuring kit, where it's got, we'll say, like 5 charges of anti-venom that you can use as a general cure-all.
That's cool.
She's like, it'll be 35 gold though. It's not cheap.
No, it's not. I'll tell you what. I can give you 25. That's all I've got.
All you got, huh? All
You don't
got,
travel
all
into
you
the
got.
Cantina Waste unless you absolutely need to.
Tell you what, give it to you for 25 gold. But, if you want anything more from my shop, or if you ever want to buy any alchemical ingredients from this city again, bring me some Duska venom sacks. I need them.
Duska.
Yes.
Do I know anything about Duskas?
Yeah, they're the thing that poisoned John while
Oh.
you guys were out in the wastes.
Oh, okay.
Dust
I know
flew.
him intimately.
Okay. Yes, well, if we run into any, we'll certainly pick those up. Am I, like, banned if I don't bring them?
If you don't give me them, I'm not going to let you buy anything in town. I've got very
Well,
good connections with the Alchemist Guild.
That's great. In the if for some reason we don't come across any or are unable to recover any, is 10 gold going to suffice when I am back in town?
15.
To set you back in. Oh,
15.
you drive a hard bargain. He drops 35 gold on the table
Mm.
and takes the thing. And leaves
All you
without
got,
saying
huh?
anything
All
further.
you had. She shouts
Bye.
as you leave.
Bye.
All right.
You start climbing down the building, but you realize that it's a nice Melaloon ladder you're climbing down, and it's a very nice descent. You get
This is quite a nice Melaloon ladder that I have found myself upon.
while sitting there with his arms crossed at the bottom. He goes, "That's 20 gold well spent right there."
Yeah, I was gonna give you shit for that, but I just spent $35 on saving your ass. So,
What do you mean?
he pulls out the little thing.
John,
Gold.
did you is the ladder standing straight up and down, or did you put it up against the wall?
And he's straight up and down.
So it falls over after you say the word.
Wait, what?
It
Melaloon?
doesn't stand. No. He says Ulfta, and the ladder does not stay standing up.
Nice.
I have to go kill a shop owner real fast.
Well, hold on. Maybe
20
not.
gold.
Did he say no refunds?
He explicitly said that. The ladder.
So it's like,
Say it before or after you made the purchase. We might have a case here.
Well, no, he said it after. He said it after 100%.
I mean,
I put the gold on the table, but I can't tell you for sure if he picked the gold up before he said it or not.
I think you're out of luck. It might have worked like the ones.
It at least a nice ladder.
Oh, it's a great ladder. Yeah, it just doesn't stand up on its own magically.
Maybe he had like some sort of frame set up in the floor to engage in that sort of con.
He's a clever old bastard, I'll tell you. Got me real easy too. Let's get the fuck out of this city.
Again, all purchases have to go through me.
Yeah, I'm gonna let you talk to people. I don't really. You should check your parasol. That might not be real.
He's just like probably walking down the street like arms wide out. Like, no, this is like pretty much grade A parasol here.
Damn it!
Fairly well versed in, parasols.
On a scale of 1 to parasol, this is looking pretty parasol.
Pretty parasol. So you guys leave the city walls, go out to the outer stables, and you see that Azran has hitched up a group of 5 Hyatt lizards. It's gonna be 2 people per Hyatt lizard. So you have a NPC group of 6 people, then 3 and then 1 for Azran. So that's a total party of 10 people. The 6 adventurers that he brought are a kind of a hodgepodge of humans, half orcs and half elves, and they all look, pretty rough. Kind of like, probably following the same kind of professions that Surtuk has, so desert guides and that kind of thing. None of them are from the All Watchers cult, however.
Are any of them from any of the big guilds that were in where Old for Gold is?
That not that you can see, but you don't see the guild symbols on all of them. So, and it's a different guild symbol for almost each one of them. Looks like he kind of went out of his way to recruit different people from different guilds, as to keep the chance of all of them betraying you guys or something like that at a minimum.
Smart.
So
Bag bunch.
Yes, this is common. I don't want to risk any of my men, and these individuals are willing to work for a low enough price that I can afford.
You should be making a lot more than you've spent, I assume.
I hope to recoup our losses once we find what's in Quamar. The curator told me of your deal, and I am very interested in maybe acquiring an artifact or two for the All Watchers cult as well. I do not know what I'm going to do once Lyle is gone, for we will have no mission, but I can't help but think that a few thousand gold won't hurt.
Well, Old for Gold is hiring. I'm sorry,
You
Arlen.
took the words right out of my mouth.
All right, I saw it on your face when you
Same.
said it. When you said it, I felt like I was like encroaching, like stepping on your toes.
Oh, it's fine. Step away. Step away. You do it anyway.
Yeah, I would. He stares off into the sunset.
Anyway, when this is all over, assuming that we're not all dead, you certainly would have a place at Old for Gold. You've proven yourself to be somebody who stands for the good, and not just for the money. And I think that's something that we could all use a little bit more of. And he looks at the other two.
Sure, take a spinning his parasol.
Jalal's laughing at Sir Took spinning his parasol.
He kind of goes, Well, depending on what my brothers in the All Watchers cult decide, I may take you up on that. We may decide to form our own adventuring guild, become your competitors.
Well, that would be ill-advised.
Probably unhealthy.
Well, we will see how will you handle yourself on this adventure. See whether you're worth either joining or competing against. You understand?
Understood.
Very good.
Just be ready with a written apology. Not for Sir Took, he can read it, but
I would.
I mean, look at this
appreciate
ladder.
verbal one.
You can't be rookies when you have a ladder like this.
strapped to my
That's a
bag
good
and I'm
point.
kind of like holding on to it. One of my
I think
ladders.
Arlen refuses to let you stow that. Ever.
Did you
You
buy
have
that?
to carry that, bear that on you for the entire journey.
The cross I bear.
Did you buy
Right.
that at the ladder store?
Did.
Did he tell you
How
it
else
was a
would you think
magic
you would
ladder?
purchase it at?
No, we got it at the butcher.
Well, I mean,
Sorry.
there are other places to buy ladders, but there's only one ladder store.
That's reasonable.
Yeah, he told me he was magical and
Yeah.
did a whole little thing.
Mm-hmm. He knew you were from out of town. Everybody
Is it
knows.
magnets?
So I think it's clips in the floor. Or he has someone really heavy standing below that just grabs onto the ladder and hangs on when he puts it into the little holes. I
How
don't
bad do you think people around here would be if he went missing? Just curious.
Oh, he's a beloved member of the community.
Loves him. Why?
Because he does this kind of thing to outsiders.
I mean, I'm not entirely upset with the guy.
A strongly worded
It was a
letter.
good con.
No, it was a good con. I gotta get it.
Game recognized game.
Yeah, true. Very true.
Well, it's as I said, it's going to be a long journey. Luckily, you are not going to be responsible for any part of it.
I feel like that's maybe a shot, but I will go ahead and saddle up and assumption that is.
Sorry, except for you, Sir Took. Without you, we have no chance of defeating Lale.
God damn right.
Yeah, and he stands for us. So technically, we as a group and a unit are everything.
I personally feel like I've given you no reason to not believe in my abilities.
Oh no, I don't doubt that you have some skills. Yes, you were able to travel out and get the eye after all. He says as he's getting up on his lizard and kind of saddling up. But this is going to be
No buts. That is the end of your statement.
He
No
kind
buts.
of smiles at you, nods, and goes, "Very well."
You look over to Jalal daintily putting the silk onto the Hyatt lizard.
Like a single layer.
Right.
It'll do nothing.
He just unfolded the entire thing and threw it over the back of the Hyatt lizard.
I just wanted to cover the Hyatt lizard in crotch so I could sit on that rather than lizard.
I wanted to smell the scent.
The musk. So you guys start heading out from Damthur. Again, you guys are going to be traveling probably about 55 to 60 miles a day on the backs of these Hyatt lizards. It's not quite as fast as they're on roads, obviously, which you were able to get about 100 and a few miles in a single day. But it's at least much faster than walking and much faster than taking camels. However, you guys are going to have to make me some constitution checks to not be sick. I'm not quite sure if that's the right verbiage. Let me pull up my guide here.
Affects your con.
Yes.
Negatively or whatever.
Mm-hmm. Good.
Oh yeah. It's a solid fucking 4.
Nice.
It's just a straight
roll
con
real
check.
dice.
Yep,
Is
just
that
a
what we're
straight
doing?
con check. Yep.
Try and do like an avoid
8
danger
plus 0
or defy
is
danger
8.
or anything like that.
High danger.
No. You know,
Spike
this isn't
stroke.
necessarily dangerous. All right. So it looks like the only person that is going to kind of feel a little bit of the effects of this Hyatt lizard is Surtuk, as you failed the roll. Is that right? What did you roll, Brett?
8.
8. Oh wait, shit. No. Oh, okay. So you and Jalal rolled an 8. Okay, gotcha.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
I don't
was
have my
confused.
dice with me right now,
Gotcha.
so I'll be
gotcha.
rolling in game.
That is fine.
Lame.
We'll be using
Here.
dice for the rest of it.
Take my dice.
Yeah, can you roll for me this entire time? You're never gonna roll.
Yeah.
Oh
Fucking
yeah.
18.
And if I fail the roll, do I still get the experience?
Oh,
No.
my ire.
When would you
My
ever
ire.
fail a roll?
Yeah, what do you mean?
Yeah, I don't fail rolls. What are you
Doesn't
talking
happen.
about?
You have the samurai spirit with
I
your.
failed a couple. Monster of the Week was pretty
Yeah.
bad. I
You
failed. I
failed
don't
a
think I failed
lot.
a single roll in Monster of the Week.
Never. That's what I meant to say. What was I thinking? What a
I don't
fool
know
I am.
anything about these lizards. What is
Right.
this? What is this mushroom we're riding?
Strange creature. So like I said, you guys make it 60 miles, which puts you in the desert mountains of the Meeshan Desert. These are the central mountains, colloquially known as the Three Giants, because there are 3 very large mountains very close to each other. You guys pass the westernmost one and enter into the Valley of the Giants, which is the piece of desert that is in between these 3 very large mountains. Night falls, and the guides build a fire for you guys. They do dig a pit about 3 feet deep and build kind of a shield over the fire to keep the light as low as possible from spilling out all over the desert. And they begin cooking some rations. They are standing watch, taking care of the food, all that kind of stuff. Azran comes over and sits down. Surtuk, you are sick. You are very nauseous from the constant swaying motion of the Hyatt lizard. Azran sits down with like a couple plates of food, kind of hands them out and says, "Well, we are making very good time. There has been it does not look like we're approaching any kind of inclement weather or any kind of disturbances so far. been very impressed with these men today. How are you three holding up?
Vomits loudly.
Ah.
You could have had a crotch scented silk garment underneath you, and you would have been fine.
Oh, God.
You're doing
It
it now,
was
like
not so bad when we were like in the thing. I feel like it's insane how much different it is. And he just like rolls over.
Yes, that's why they made the carriages, to cut down on this kind of thing. Nobles don't necessarily like rolling around in their own puke.
father never was really into that. Like, not a big fan.
I am nervous about being here. This place has a little bit of history for me, he says, looking around at the large, dark cliffs.
Is he a red orc?
Yes, he is. They're called the Sunite orcs as well. That's what they call themselves.
Okay.
Yes, he is. He says, this is where my clan, this is where they hunt and move about. This is
What
their
brought
land.
you from your clan into civilized life?
The All Watchers. I was selected as such by my mentor.
Is that easy to do?
No, it
You're
is
like
not.
leaving that sort of life.
I am marked as a traitor now among those people.
So they have extra reason to kill us now.
Yes, unfortunately. But luckily I have not heard reports of them moving or raiding in the area. No one has seen bands of red orcs this far west for some time. I don't think we have anything to worry about until we travel further east.
Do they normally hunt in the day?
No, usually at night. Usually they're attracted by fires and they raid caravans and travelers. They usually leave no survivors.
All right, so while we're sleeping, we're not going to get raided or anything.
I trust these men to stand watch. They do not know of my past or my relationship to these mountains, and I think that's probably for the best. They know the dangers of the Sunite orcs just as much as I do, though.
Right. You have any nice, like... Oh, I'm sorry.
No, he just vomits loudly again.
Well, I was going to ask if you have any, like, orc remedies for whatever the hell's going on with Cert over here.
Yes.
I could make up a fresh pot of tea. That may help settle his stomach.
Well, that's going to make him start vomiting.
It's not made out of poop this time.
Poop tea was not that bad. Bit nutty.
Oh god. Yes, I do have some smelling salts that should help, but I warn you, they can be a little bit powerful.
Is that gonna, like, I mean, you know what, whatever. If it works, I'm all for it.
So yeah, he goes back into his pack and comes back out with a tin of what looks like black salt. And he says, just take a pinch and pick a nostril. I would just be careful, because that nostril isn't going to be useful for a few days afterwards.
Like, wait, what?
It's going to be a little stuffy and kind of burning.
Weird. Wait, oh god, and he's gonna do it.
You aren't nauseous anymore, as it's like a head rush that you've never, like, kind of huffing paint kind of feeling, where you get really lightheaded for a little bit. No, of course, I mean, either. But you get really lightheaded for a little bit, and you kind of feel like you're gonna fall over, but then it passes, and you're not nauseous anymore. But that nostril is bleeding now. You're gonna take 1 point of damage.
That's worth it.
Ow.
Yeah, it's gotta kick.
As he it's probably just like laying flat back on the ground again.
Don't snort too hard because you don't want that shit in the back of your throat either. It's
Oh, I think I have some in my sinuses. This is not good. It's quite unpleasant. Well, I have one, discomfort alleviated at least. And he kind of just nods to him and then, like, rolls over and, like, I don't know, stuffs a finger in his nose to try and stem the bleeding.
But you'll all give them the silk.
No.
No.
It's just,
Whole silk like trailing.
He says it'll be daylight in a few hours, so I suggest that we set up our shelters and spend the day, in the shade, as to not hurt ourselves. The further we go east, the stronger the sun will be too.
All right, let me start. Let me build a tent around Cert real fast. Gotta build him into the foundation.
What? Wait. I mean, I'm not like totally incapacitated. I mean, whatever. And he'll just kind of lay back down and shrug.
It's erecting it around him.
As you guys are building your tent, one of the hirees runs over and says, Azran, we have movement. Look. And he hands him a looking glass, and Azran looks in. And he gets pretty grim, and he says, all right, we need to circle the hyatt lizards. There's red orcs out there.
Let's get done saying that there was probably no likely chance that any red orcs would be around here.
I think he said that there was no movement, or that he hadn't heard of any movement around here. But not necessarily the same.
What a great day.
They must be active. As long as we present a defense, I don't think they will attack. And it's very close to day, so as long as we can hold out for long enough, it should be fine. They begin circling the 5 hyatt lizards in a rough circle, putting many of the supplies in the center of the circle. You guys, they take positions kind of using the hyatt lizards as cover, holding crossbows and longbows. Azran takes out his own small hand crossbow, and kind of puts it on top. The desert gets very quiet for a little bit, except for the occasional whoop and roar coming from far off in the east, where the movement was spotted. It takes a long time for anyone to say anything.
While this is happening,
Mm-hmm.
I want to walk the perimeter of the circle that they're making.
Okay.
Because I assume the people are staying inside the circle, yes?
Yes, absolutely.
And he is spreading ashes from a small urn that he carries. And he's chanting under his breath.
Cool.
I'm going to cast Sanctuary
Nice.
in the area.
Nice.
So let me try to cast it. See if I failed out.
Yeah.
Well, +2.
That's not a
14.
failure. That's as high as you could roll for success.
And it is the highest that I could.
So you don't use a
yeah.
spell slot, I believe, to cast that spell.
That's beautiful.
Correct. So you finish your chant and you finish the circle of ash. There is a blue shimmering light that falls in a circle around the party, as if frozen colored raindrops have been stopped in a dome around you. Azran kind of nods and goes, "Oh, so you're more than just a old frail man, then, I see."
Well,
Why would I be out adventuring if I was just an old frail man?
He kind of shrugs and goes, "I don't know. Some men have a death wish. End life crisis."
No.
that would have come like a while ago.
Just stay in here. And if you are in need of healing, it will be more potent.
What does that spell do?
It will alert me if somebody acts with malice within the sanctuary. And then anybody who receives healing within the sanctuary heals an additional 1d4 HP.
Ooh, that's good. All right. So Azran nods and says, "That's thank you very much."
Not.
There is, like I said, a long period of silence where you guys can only hear wind, and then you hear the shuffling of feet as quite a few of these Red Orc warriors come up. There is about 25 in all standing over on a dune over you guys. The largest one with what looks like some Hyatt lizard scales making a rough crown on his head as he strides down the sand dune, wielding a massive jagged blade. He roars, "Azran, I know you're in there." Azran looks at you guys like, "Oh, fucking shit, what?" And kind of goes down and sits against the back of the Hyatt lizard. He goes, "I'm not here. Just don't. You guys got this."
Azran.
Who?
New
start texting
camp.
me
Who this?
He roars, still walking towards you guys, and goes, "I know the traitor is in there."
Azran, quick question.
Yeah.
Or, hey, unlikely Red Orc comrade. Do Red Orcs have like an honor system? Like, if one of them's challenged or is another combatant going to be surrounded, or will they accept the challenge one-on-one?
Oh, no. Yes, if you think you can beat him, Feridus isn't a horrible, ferocious warrior though. But he will. The tribe will accept the challenge.
I want to look back to Cert and Arlen. What do we think? I think I could take him.
Well, I think it's a mistake, but
Well,
I don't know
think
what else
everything
we.
I do
I don't know.
That's not entirely false.
There's a lot of them, right? Or
Yeah, there's about
25.
25. So 15 more than you guys.
Right, but a one-on-one would be better odds than
but yeah,
us against all of them, I think. Maybe.
Arlen nods at Bilal.
I mean, we
think
can
you can
always,
do it.
if
What is that?
anything happens.
Was that falling over? What was that?
Well, I've got a bow, so I could
Ah,
shoot. the guy.
Cheat. I like cheat. Cheat's a good idea.
Yeah, right.
If
Yeah.
things go
I mean,
bad.
if it's going poorly.
Yeah, I like that. You keep that in the back of your mind. I like that one. Arlen,
Azran!
do you have anything you can hit me with, like any of your little clerically, magically voodoo stuff?
Not really.
Right.
No. I mean, just stay inside of this circle, and maybe I heal you. I don't have anything to. I don't have like magic, fucking holy armor spell or something like that.
Well, I was hoping you
would
had
be nice.
something
You hear the
crazy.
word magic, and you think I can do anything. There's
Well, yeah, because I have faith
a
in you,
limited
Arlen.
list of things that I can do.
The red oak is about 5 or 10 feet from your circle, and all bows are trained on him. He kind of does a come at me and says, "Azran!"
I want to hop on the back of the nearest Hyatt lizard.
Okay. He looks at you and points his sword. "Where is he?"
I don't know who the fuck you're talking about, but you're coming into our territory. We set up camp. That means it's our spot. Now, you can back off, or I'm going to have to show you a little bit of Southern hospitality.
"You dare challenge me?
You dare
Fearless."
accept the challenge from me?
He kind of smiles, his broken, jagged teeth glinting in the the rising of the dawn's light. He says, "Oh, I think I can." Fine.
As he's talking, I want to jump off the Hyatt lizard and give him a people's elbow.
All right. Hack and
Why
slash.
not? Oh my god. You know the challenge. I guess the challenge has been raised. Sure. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Fucking A.
Right. Okay. How's a 4?
That's not
Wait,
good.
1 for battle. No, that's damage.
Yep. Yeah. So yeah, if you fail the attack, I get the attack against you. So you come down and you attempt to give him the people's elbow. He takes one big step back and just smacks you with the flat of his blade.
All right, well, I didn't say star yet.
You take 5 damage from the smack across your probably like across your face, just as you come down and miss. He just goes wonk. And
-3 for armor, though.
oh yeah, there you go. Yep. So you kind of go sprawling, and he laughs cruelly at your weak attempt to surprise him.
Right, well, let's calm down here. You don't have to laugh at me. And he gets up slowly and dusts himself off, and then he kind of gets into a fighting pose.
Try me.
And I'm gonna hit him again.
Go ahead. Yeah, that's how combat works. You just hack and slash at him, and he gets to deal his damage back to you as long as you keep failing rolls.
Hit him with a 9.
9. That is good. On a 7 and 9, you deal your damage to the enemy, and the enemy makes an attack against you. So go ahead and deal your class's damage.
Right. It's a D10.
Nice.
2. Wait, I can re-roll that. I can
All right.
actually re-roll that.
Cool.
Oh,
Thank God for being a human.
nice.
6. Kind of better.
That's good. Actually, that's very good. How do you hit him?
So I wait until he tries to like smack me again in the face, and I kind of like weave out of the way, and I just pop him under the chin with like the hand completely out.
So he gets to deal his damage to you. So as you pop him up in the chin, he roars and bring his blade down. Wow, I'm rolling like shit. That is 6 damage total to you.
Oh, that's what do you mean like shit?
You get to
Optimal.
subtract from your armor also.
Does he just deal damage, or is it him rolling attack against me?
No, he just deals his
doesn't do
damage.
that.
He does not.
His-
Yeah, they don't roll attacks against you.
Oh, okay.
It's based off of your attack.
Yep. So yeah, he cuts into you with that jagged blade, probably like across the shoulder, and then takes a step back and prepares to swing again. You hear hoots and hollers from the red orcs on the sand dune, cheering their commander on. You broke his jaw, like it is hanging funny now, and he's kind of got your mush mouth because he can't make full words anymore.
Yeah. Don't speak with your mouth full.
And when you attack him.
You just see a thumb up go over his shoulder, and then he bobs right back in underneath and tries to go for an uppercut.
Okay.
That's a 13. And
Ooh,
guess who took Superior Warrior for his last level up?
nice.
Which means when you hack and slash on a 12 plus, you deal your damage, avoid their attack, and impress, dismay, or frighten your enemy.
Well done.
I would like to frighten my enemy.
Okay. What you gonna do?
So I'm going to stop right underneath his chin, and he kind of moves up a bit with the wind. And then I want to backhand him onto his ass.
All right. Deal your damage.
4?
All right. So wow.
Oh, plus 1d6.
If you
if you
expose yourself to
Yes.
the enemy's attack.
Yep.
Oh, okay. How does that work with Superior Warrior?
It means he's going to like slash at you in like a get away from me kind of.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I want to add the 1d6. I'll take the D.
All right.
So an additional 2.
All right. Wow. All right. So he's going to deal his damage to you. Oh, there we go. All right. So he does another 8 damage to you.
5 extra damage.
Yep.
How are you looking?
15 out of 25.
How many out of 25?
15 out of 25.
15.
Right.
Okay. So you knock him onto his ass, and he is wild-eyed. He is not looking very good, but his blade did kind of rake across your chest as he was trying to get back. He.
I want to
takes-
take the blood off my chest and just wipe it on my face.
He is staring terrified at your red elf construct arm, and he says, "You're cursed."
You could say that. Here, I can fix your jaw for you if you want me to.
He takes another step back, holds
I'm
the
gonna
blade
give
out
you-
in front of him.
I'm gonna give you this one time. Right now, right here. You can leave. Never forget my face. Or I'm gonna rip your goddamn face off. Your choice.
He looks at the it looks up the hill at his tribe, who are not hooting and hollering so much anymore.
Surtuk, however.
Surtuk has like a cloth and some water, like waiting for me in the back.
So Firdas, man, he is afraid of you, but he is afraid of going back to his tribe in that way more.
Before he can even decide, I'm gonna run up and hit him.
Okay.
I want to try to rip his face off, literally.
Okay.
One Nick Cage movie to another.
I was
Hey.
just gonna-
You rolled a 9.
Yeah.
All right. So we both deal our damage.
All right. How's 6?
Wow. All right. So I rolled a 9.
Woo! So I
Um,
take 6.
So how are you going to rip his face off?
with my hand.
I
No, sorry.
want to go for a punch, and right as I stop at the right at the bridge of his nose, I
Mhm.
give him a second to look down at my fist, and then I open it slowly, and I want to grab as hard as I can with my construct arm on his face, and just start pulling down.
Yep. So you grab him and
Grotesque.
in one he gets one good stab in. He runs you through with that jagged blade. But as he does, there's a crunch and you succeed in ripping his facial bone out of his face. Kind of like this part of his face. There is gurgle, which doesn't sound super great, and he collapses into the sand. There is a strange kind of almost howl that comes from his tribe, and they all run back into the desert.
I just start screaming at the top of my lungs. Ah!
Surtuk probably like went silent as he ripped his face off. Like,
Jalal, I get you're celebrating a victory and all of that, but he just ran you through with a blade. Can you come back here real quick? Let
He
me-
turned-
holy
Patch you
shit!
up.
You ripped his fucking face off.
Jalal turns around and his face looks totally different. He doesn't look like Jalal. He looks almost elfish.
Ooh.
Ooh.
Um,
He kind of cocks his head a little bit sideways as he's looking at you.
you all right there, bud? You looking not normal, and
He's
like
just
more so than just the fact that there's like a face in your hand.
Is he still holding the face?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. You see, he kind of wavers for a moment, and the normalcy returns, and he looks like Jalal again. And he looks down at his hand, and he's he throws it on the ground, and he starts like wiping onto his like coat.
Ooh.
Well,
And he looks down at his wounds.
And we can unpack
blade
that
for
later.
you.
Get back here so we can fix you up a little bit. bud.
Azran pops his head up and goes, "Oh, my God. That's not good.
I mean-
oh, shit, that's not good."
seems like not like absolutely utterly horrible, right? Like he did live through the whole ordeal.
Yes, now, but the Aiswad tribe has a death pact now.
Oh,
You killed their leader in con challenge. They are now
I'm just sorry.
no, they're now what is in debt to kill you for
Oh,
in response or as punishment, I suppose. To not
okay.
do so would be to lose more face among the tribes. You are not a red orc.
I mean, I don't think you can really lose any more face than he
I
did.
feel like they're gonna lose
That
face
was a
either
poor
way.
choice of words. You're right.
Well, you'd think that if you challenged a leader of a tribe to like an honorable duel, you'd become the leader of the tribe.
That would be the case if you were a red orc. You're not. So now the next red orc leader of the tribe has a death pact to kill you.
Oh, well, that's good. And
Before he can assume leadership, he has to kill his the last chief's killer.
so I'm gonna have to keep killing 24 more orcs.
Probably more because the harder the challenge, you see, the greater the reward, I suppose. If you're able to kill more red orc chieftains, the Sunite orcs will believe that you have the souls of those chieftains, and the one that kills you will get those souls. Do you understand?
I really don't. I could use like some water. And he kind of falls to his knees.
Yeah, he's still bleeding quite a
So,
Oh,
bit.
yes.
Drag him into
Ye-
the circle
yeah.
or whatever.
you drag him over, and I'll cast a spelly poo at him.
You're gonna spelly poo me?
Yeah.
For me?
That is 7 plus 2 is 9. Ba-da-ba-da-ba. 9 is the spells cast, but choose one. Either I draw unwelcome attention and put myself in a spot. My casting distances me from my deity. Take one on plus -1 ongoing to cast a spell until the next time you commune. Or after you cast it, the spell is revoked by your deity. You cannot cast a spell again until you commune. I'm just gonna revoke it because
Okay.
we're gonna commune here in a minute. So yeah, I'll cast Heal Wounds on him, or whatever it's called,
All right.
which is. I mean, I guess it doesn't really matter as long as it's enough to stabilize him.
Right.
He's going to be resting or whatever, but it is a D8 plus a D6 or D4. Sorry.
That's pretty
Oh,
good.
right. That's the sanctuary. That is awesome.
Sanctuary is D4. 8 and 1, so 9.
Nice.
I like that. Back to 18. Pretty
All
good.
right.
So I am traveling with an excommunicated red orc. I'm the bearer of the souls of the fallen red orcs, and somebody who certainly has not died. Jesus.
Right. Well, we're all in grave danger now. And that's where we're going to take our break. It is about 10:45. So thank you guys for tuning in. This has been Old for Gold, as you can tell. We're just, going through the desert, ripping faces off, I guess. That's what we're doing.
Yeah.
As I said, this has been Irrational Radio. We do this every single Monday, so continue to check us out. It's pretty cool. We also have a stream on Thursdays called Table 13. Right now we're digging through Tasha's Cauldron, but I think we've got something else planned next Thursday. Some kind of topic that was suggested. So tune in for that. That's me and Mr. E over there hosting that. Otherwise, we do have a podcast. It's 2 seasons long. It is a complete story. So check out that. You can find it wherever podcasts are growing or hanging like ripe fruit.
Oh, I thought you were going to say rice.
Right.
Doesn't do that.
Rice too. Sure.
Hanging right.
Like rice. Yes.
Like
Yeah,
rice.
from a rice tree.
From
Yeah,
rice
from a
trees.
rice tree.
Yes, the rice bush.
Yeah.
So if you guys want to hang out with us, that's not on Twitch, we have a Discord that you can find down there at the bottom. It's pretty awesome. We've got a big, wonderful community that can help you achieve your role-playing goals, whether that be run a game or find a game that you want to play with people in your time zone or that have similar interests in you. We also have a Patreon if you want to throw us some bucks so that we can make these streams and products bigger, better, and brighter. And if you want to insult me in some kind of verbal or visceral way, I will post my phone number in the chat once we come back from break.
He's never done
I'm
that.
not going to do that.
He's never done that.
No, I'm not going to do that. So.
Oh, we have stuff on the website.
Oh yes,
that
yes,
you can
and
buy, like
yes.
clothes.
Yes, clothes like shirts and sweatshirts, and you can't wear dice, but you can try. You can certainly try.
You can wear that.
100
I've done
internet
it.
points to anyone that sends me a picture of them wearing dice.
It's not in your butt. Don't do that.
That's
I think they're all
no.
gonna be.
The dice
You're
are
gonna be
wearing you at that point.
Oh my. Oh.
All right. Well, we are going to take our 15-minute break. I've got a break video all cooked up for you guys. Enjoy. We will have some more after hours content up during this week, and I'll slowly start putting those into the break videos too. So this is going to be the last rerun break video the last one that's entirely reruns for a little bit. So enjoy, guys, and we will be back in about 15 minutes. Goodbye!
How should players go about determining what kind of style their prospective DM might be looking to implement?
From a player's perspective, there are some questions you should be asking your DM. The setting is a big deal. If you are talking to a DM who's running a setting that all their players, they're going to be joining sort of a guild or a company or a group of people that are like say a den of thieves or a pirate's ship or something. That gives you an idea sort of for the setting. Are they running a module? Are they running homebrew? Are they running some sort of mix? They're using a pre-made world? Is it their homebrew world? And that'll give you sort of an idea of what they want to do. So what you need to find out is, are the sessions going to be encounter driven? I guess that's the best way to put it. Because asking them, hey, look, is every session going to be combat, or are we going to have opportunities to roleplay? It seems straightforward, but the main thing is, are they building their game to be encounter driven? If a DM is building their game to be encounter driven, then most of the time, not all the time, most of the time it's going to be that you need to defeat these encounters to progress.
Right.
That tends to let you know that it's going to be more combat oriented. Some DMs, and you need to ask them this question: can you solve, will they allow you to solve encounters or even combat encounters?
Right.
Can you solve these problems with roleplay?
Yeah.
Do you have that option if your reasoning and your roles line up? Can
Right.
you solve these things with roleplay? If the answer is yes, then they're allowing for more roleplay. If the
Right.
answer is no, which is fine,
Yeah.
you're going to have to fight. That means
Yeah.
they want more combat. And I've been in games where I felt, as a charismatic character, that I could persuade some certain bad guys.
Right.
But the DM had the mindset that, hey,
This is
we have to have
rolled
combat
initiative. Yeah.
because it
like-
needs to be exciting.
Yes. Oh no, that's what I was saying. Is that's a really good way to phrase that, or to like come at that, is by saying, "Hey, so how often will I be able to talk my way out of whatever
Yes.
mess we find ourselves in, or think my way out of, or because my answer to that is, hey, if it's reasonable, like you're saying, and the dice line up and all that stuff, yeah, do it.
Yeah,
Whatever.
yeah.
there are no guaranteed combats, right? But I think there are DMs who are going to say, well, there's going to be some situations where you're fighting, the giants in this are just savage, mean monsters.
Yeah.
And they don't want to hear it, and they're not going to talk with you. And that's what you're fighting a lot of the time. So there aren't going to be a lot of situations where maybe you can, convince them that it's not worth fighting or that there's a better alternative. And and I think that is like a really important piece of information to get, and a good way to start to kind of figure out where your DM is as far as players are concerned.
And like I said, there's no right or wrong. It's just finding your fit. It's finding your group. All of it's viable, all of it's fun, but if you want a combat-oriented game and the DM is not doing that, or vice versa, you're going to end up with some issues.
That makes sense.
You're going to end up not having fun, and that's the whole point of it.
That's not great.
As a captain of a ship, it is important to keep her in the best shape possible, but certain parts are harder to maintain than others. And with all the competing ship maintenance products in the world, how is a captain to choose? Well, sometimes it pays to be picky. That's why there's Picky's Poop Wax, the only deck wax specifically designed for your ship's poop deck. Yes, when you wax your poop, nothing beats Picky's Poop products. Available in a coastal general store near you.
Just kind of tertiarily related to scheduling stuff, I guess. Here is do you prefer like weekly games, bi-weekly games? Are you a big fan of making sure that it's always on the same day at the same time? Do you not care so much about things like that?
Okay.
Stuff of that nature.
Preference versus what I think will work. Okay. Would I prefer to have a game 2 times every week?
Yeah.
Yes.
Right.
It's not happening.
Yeah.
In all honesty, I would prefer a game every week on the same day every week.
Yeah.
But I have found that tends to not happen.
Right.
I have, however, had really good success with a bi-weekly game, because having something that you have to do every week on the same day every week is really hard to do. I mean, especially if it's something that's not exactly mandatory, like work, if it's a recreational activity, it can be done. And by all means, if you can do it, do it. But for me, what I found actually does work best, and in multiple games that I'm a part of, is bi-weekly. Same day, same time, every other week. It gives players and the more opportunity to do what you need to do on those days that you're not doing the game, because there are going to be things that happen on certain days that are going to pull you away from the game. And if you're doing it every week, you're guaranteed you're going to have people missing more often.
Sure.
So bi-weekly, for me, it just has worked better. I would love to do it more often, but I personally enjoy a game where all of our players are there every time. And that does happen more often if I'm running the bi-weekly game.
For me, I think I prefer weekly, with the understanding that, like, if you can't make it, you can't make it, and if there's more than one person missing, you probably don't play. But that, since you're going weekly, if you miss 1 week, it's only another week until it comes back. That's the thing that I don't love about the bi-weekly setup. Is that if you miss one, it's a month until you play next, or between sessions, I guess. And if that happens more than once, you have something come up the next time. Now it's like, I've lost campaigns because of that before. It's like that's a long enough break that you can totally lose people. Schedules can change in that amount of time and stuff like that. But I agree that, like, weekly, every week at the same time is going to be hard to make happen every single week for sure.
Yeah. You just have to have an understanding of a threshold to where, depending on how many players you have and how many are missing, you have to have an understanding with your group. Hey, if we have this many people, it's still happening.
Right.
Okay, and we'll do the best to fill you in. And you're right, with the bi-weekly games, when you miss one, there's a lot of downtime in between.
Damn.
And that's happening right now with my games because of the holidays.
Yeah.
My games are landing on all the holidays. My Friday games are landing on all the holidays.
That is right in there this year too.
Yeah. So it has happened where we're gonna have, I think, 2 games out of the 3-month area that are gonna be missed. And with my particular group of players, that is the perfect time slot. We are not able to alter and pick another day as a makeup session.
Right.
It's my players have no other aligned day and time to where that'll happen. So, but using the appropriate tools and doing everything you can to have the proper group has allowed me to not worry about my players going anywhere. We're going to have some downtime. We're going to have a few weeks in between, a month in between. My players are still going to be there. And at this point, I know that's going to be the case. You just got to put in the work.
Hello, it is Irrational Radio. We are here with another Old for Gold episode. Smart like a fox. Foxes don't know alphabets. Well, I can do some quick and dirties. I can just remove the toilet entirely and you can just shut down the hole.
I have a deadbeat brother who is still sleeping on my beanbag, and I need him to leave before my wife's sister's wedding.
Did you say in your beanbag?
Yes, he's been crashing on my living room beanbag for a long time.
He has a beanbag.
All right. Well, I'll make sure I let you know when I poured all of your orders into one of the sections.
This is the most ridiculous situation.
You were
For a
making it this
restaurant.
whole way through like that wasn't a totally ridiculous idea until you had to say, and I will pour your food into the giant trough which you will retrieve it from.
Attention! If you or a loved one has been diagnosed with lycanthropy, you may be entitled to financial compensation. Lycanthropy is a rare, uncontrolled animalis transformation linked with monster bite exposure. Exposure to monster bites in the mercenary, adventuring, questing, or mortuary industries may put you at risk. Please don't wait. Raven 1-800-99-RAR-RNG for a free legal consultation and a financial information scroll. Lycanthropy patients send a Raven now. 1-800-RAR-RNG.
And I think that railroad's tossed around, almost like a curse word as, in the
Yeah.
DMing world. And I think that if you're taking away your player's agency, that's bad. But if you're just all moving toward the same plot line, then there's nothing wrong with that. If everyone's agreeing that they're all interested in saving the world, they don't want to deal with the piddly little nonsense here in town. They want to go straight to the cataclysmic world-altering event stuff, and that's the storyline everyone wants to play. Then that's not like a failed DM thing or something like that. I guess it's not my leaning as a DM, but I definitely am more of the whatever, run around, start a business.
Yeah.
I've got a game that they own about 6, and they've had to license them all, and they run an orphanage, and they've got all there's like 100 different little business interests that they're sticking fingers in, and to me that's a lot of fun. But I understand that there are players that are going to be like, oh my god, nothing's happening, like we don't do anything, we haven't left this city in like 2 years, like
Railroad is tossed around as like a bad word. But I think that the main reason that is because I think a majority of people that play, a majority of players end up falling into a certain category of where, they They want to play the game because they want their characters to be able to do what they want. And so
Right.
when you have these players joining into games with DMs that want to run, say, a strict module or a straightforward, save the world campaign where it is a little more railroady, you have players that are joining games that they're not a fit for.
Right.
So then you end up with the railroad being a bad term. Now, if you have players that's what they want, that's your type of game. You're joining a DM because you know he's running a game that is story driven, that is pretty much railroad centric, a module, what have you, then that's fine. There's nothing wrong with railroad, but it gets a bad rap because just like any term in D&D, and where you're talking about any type of player or any type of DM, the only reason they get a bad rap is because the players and the DMs are not a good fit for each other. And that's what we're trying to talk about, is to get your fit as a player, as a DM. If you find your fit, there is no bad word.
Right. If you are doing some sort of like greater plot arc development stuff, and even if it's individual running around nonsense, eventually the stakes have to get raised, the pressure has to be increased in some way, and that, there are people who are going to call that railroad. I think that it is part of pushing the plot forward at some point. I think that's it's much more important that everyone's looking for the same kind of game, because what one DM does and gets called railroading by one player, another DM could do with another player and never hear the same word, because they were both looking for that kind of game at the time.
Hello, everybody. We are back. This is Irrational Radio's Old for Gold. We came back from break just now, and we are ready to continue our desert adventure where we last left these, left these guys before we went to break. They had just been attacked by a group of red orcs called the Aiswad tribe. That sorry, Aiswad.
What?
Aiswad.
They're Aiswad.
Aiswad.
Nope.
Fucking Aiswad.
Their
they're
leader,
definitely the Aiswad.
yes, they were Azran's old tribe. Yes, like, man, I just wish I could just pronounce things right off the bat, right away.
You made
Perfect
this
every time.
You created it.
Yes, which is a special kind of hell that I live in. So, yeah.
There's a place in his world that is literally called Behole's Landing.
Yes.
Or Beehole Land or something.
Beehole Landing.
There's that too.
Oh, Boland.
Boland. Most of the letters in that name are silent.
Right. It's just bland.
It's just Holland.
Bland. Holland. Anyway, so you guys have taken on this Red Orc chieftain who was challenging Azran. Jalal, you stepped up and literally ripped this guy's face off. It is approaching dawn. Jalal, you've been healed for 9 points by Arlen's magic. You're feeling better, but of course not all the way. So yeah, it's approaching dawn. You guys have a small camp constructed in the center of your Hyatt Lizard circle. Azran doesn't want to leave the circle. Doesn't want to break up the Hyatt Lizard just in case these guys come back right away. He, as he's sitting in the tent, he says, I don't think that they will be back right away. They have to elect a new chieftain, and he has to decide what to do.
Jalal's gonna just sit by himself for a little while and contemplate things.
The last time we took your advice, we got the exact opposite thing that occurred.
I can see how you'd think that.
No, it's exactly what happened.
Which is why you think that. I understand. It's the reality of the situation, honestly.
I mean, all he said was, he hadn't heard any reports of their activity in this area, right? Like he didn't guarantee that we wouldn't see any.
Right, but it was utilized to sort of
Assuage your fears. Yes.
assure us that there wasn't going to be an issue.
I had
And
not
when there
talked
was
to
an issue-
anybody who has seen red orcs from here off as far north and very far south. So I'm sorry, my information was mistaken.
I'm just saying maybe we should be careful and tread lightly moving forward through the evening, in case this tribe doesn't operate the same way it did when you were a part of it.
It's true. And now that Feridus is gone, who knows who they will elect in his place?
Do you think they are? Is it like like voice vote, or is it like a bloody melee of some variety?
It is usually a voice vote, unless there is some kind of disagreement as for who should be nominated.
Nice.
And there's 25 orcs. They're not all the warriors of the clan. There are quite a few more.
Yeah, if it's not like an immediate battle thing, I think it would like take a little longer to like gather everyone and do the jam. We probably do
Exactly.
have at least like a day, maybe.
Hopefully, they will still be following us while they make their decision. They can't lose Jalal. Again, the chieftain isn't technically the chieftain until you're dead.
Right. Well,
We don't
I
have
guess
much choice at this point. Before, we could just go back and drop you off and leave you in town. Now we have to leave Jalal too if we do that. So we're already the ship has sailed, colloquially.
Yes, colloquially. Well, I'm going to try to get some rest while we still can. I have a feeling that it may be a while before we can rest as easy again.
we should get one of these colloquial ships if they sail in the desert.
He sighs and goes into his tent, ties the little tent flap closed.
Imagine if the hero that you've decided you've deemed says something akin to that.
Sort of demoralizing.
You just hear him murmur from the tent. What am I doing with my life?
I should go back to
We're
the
doomed.
clan.
We're all gonna die.
Generations of my order watching me right now, and judging me for what I've done. I should have just cut his arm off.
Just crying.
I'm
Yeah.
going to be in a training video.
Oh, yeah. I'm gonna be in a what not to do documentary. Oh God. So you guys get your rest. There
We'll all
are
spend a lot of the night standing next to the body that he ripped the face off. Day, sorry. Standing next to the body and just staring at it and like contemplating life.
That's not healthy. Not
No.
that.
No.
You don't want to do that.
Well, for Jalal, it's either this or booze, and they didn't bring any that he knows of.
You're gonna take a level of exhaustion for not sleeping through the night.
He would take it. Yeah,
Okay.
absolutely.
All right.
Yeah.
All right. So yeah, go ahead and
Doing this.
mark that down.
What does that do?
It's just exhausted.
Yeah, I
it
think
just gives you it
Is
a
that-
-1 to your rolls.
yes,
on that.
-1 to the.
Which
yeah,
one
it's,
is that?
I don't
it's-
see
Isn't it
that
on there?
one.
That's
No.
I thought it was on there.
Let me
Oh.
see.
There's weak, shaky.
Shaky makes
stunned,
sense.
Confused, scarred.
I'm pretty sure there is a actual.
Yeah, I
Thing.
thought there was a mechanism for that, but I don't know.
Oh,
what it
man.
is.
Well, we'll return to it.
Minus
Yes.
one
Set up.
forward.
Yeah, just take -1
Yeah.
forward for right now. Yeah, absolutely, for missing the night of sleep. That's the simplest way to solve that problem.
We'll
All
work
right.
on that.
Yeah. So yeah, you guys are the night has fallen. You guys strap up your lizards and begin the journey. Though you do not make it very far. It is probably about 15 miles further through the Giant's Valley that there is a whistle, and red orcs begin filling in through the path between the dunes in front of you. The leader of your caravan, one of the hires, pulls his Hyatt lizard to the side, and you guys kind of circle up again. There is a new orc at the top of the dune, this time a female. She has very wild, dreaded hair and a long, very thin blade at her side. She calmly begins to walk down the dune and says, "Who is the one that killed Feridus? Which one was it?" There's a few.
Jalal's just sitting on his Hyatt lizard, like kind of a 1,000-yard stare. He's not really paying attention.
Jalal, that's you, mate.
Uh,
I mean,
Well, what are we talking about?
the guy's face you ripped off. I think anyway. I'm assuming. Is that the guy whose face was ripped off? He'll like yell to the lady.
Yes,
Yeah, that was you, mate.
that is how our leader died.
That's me. And he'll casually get off the Hyatt lizard.
She draws her sword and she points it at you. And she says, "You have been marked. In order to take the leadership of this clan, you must be put into the sand."
Well, I'm thinking a lot right now, and I'm having some internal debate with myself about what happened yesterday. Is there any way we can do this where I don't have to accidentally rip your face off in some weird state?
That was an accident.
We'll talk about it after this.
She
I thought you were so cool.
She lowers her sword slightly and says, "Yes, there is one thing." She turns back to her tribe and she says some things in the desert or the Sunite orc language, and which I think Surtuk you would know. She says she's going to command them to kill the worm. She turns back to you, Jalal, and says, "Yes, there is something. I, Asina of the Aiswad clan, claim right of... Oh boy, how do I put this? Right of challenge. Our clan has been routinely harassed by a great desert worm that refuses to leave the Valley of the Giants. You will come with me, and we are to slay it together in order to take my place among the clan."
So I either have to kill you or join you in killing a giant worm.
If you kill me, the next person will take my place and command the same thing. My tribe will follow your caravan until you are either dead or we have exhausted all eligible members.
I'm not really one to hit women. It doesn't make me feel good.
She, her face gets really angry and she walks forward.
Well, no. What I mean to say is, I think that worm thing you were talking about was a really good idea, and I would be honored actually to. I think I can speak for my two companions here that we would be honored to help you. Right? Please. Right? Please.
Arlen
Well,
just nods.
how far away is it?
It is in this area, constantly hunting, constantly searching for prey. It will not take much to draw it out. I'm sure one of your lizards, wounded, would do very nicely.
Do you have any lizards that you could wound? We're kind of doing something.
Yeah, it's important.
Either that or we must trap some kind of bait. None of us are large enough to attract it immediately, and my tribe has lost all of its livestock to the worm.
What do y'all think?
Azran is still crouched behind the Hyatt lizard. He has not come out yet.
I have another demand. kinda demand.
What is it?
Theoretically, right? If this this person you're looking for was a friend of ours, would you expunge the need to kill him if we helped you with this?
You're saying Azran the traitor.
Well, he's not here, obviously, because you'd see
Right.
him because he's a warrior, or a coward. Coward. He's a coward. He's a coward. But and he kind of side glances. If he were here, I would really prefer if you stopped trying to fuck with his shit, personally.
She glances back up at her tribe and back down to you, and she says, "If he helps slay the pale beast, then yes, he will have my pardon."
Does that sound good, Azran? He says that really loud.
Azran behind the high lizard goes, "Yeah, that sounds good."
Yeah, I think we're looking all right. I think we're looking good.
She glares and sheathes her sword. She gives a command, bonds, and a old orc comes down from the dune carrying a 10-foot chain with two shackles on either side. He shackles her arm to your construct arm. There is a brief flash of light, and the shackles fuse into solid bands of metal. She nods, kind of pulls on it, and says, "Good. Now both our fates are sealed."
I didn't agree to bondage.
Once the pact of command is fulfilled, you will be free of this bondage.
It seems like it might be a little bit more difficult to complete the task with the two of you chained together.
Exactly. If we succeed, our honor and our worthiness shall be increased.
Am I gonna have like a real nice stand-in with your clan then?
No. If we see you again in
Oh.
these lands, we will kill you without hesitation.
What? Come on, I'm doing the same thing you're doing. You're gonna become chief.
Yeah, we're solidifying your position here.
Yeah, you can give us a little sway.
She
At least give us a few days to get through the desert before we're attacked again by your people.
yes.
We are headed to a particular location and back to the city. And it would really, given that we are trying to cement this, that you become the leader and not whoever's next of kin, that you could perhaps try and exercise some sway to allow us passage.
And you're very beautiful, by the way. I don't know if I mentioned that.
She draws her sword again in a flash and points it at you and says, "Shut your mouth."
All right, well, this ain't gonna work.
I mean, we could just, systematically kill every single member of your tribe as they, take a prominent position in it and come to kill us, right? That's sort of the other option here.
Very well. If you help us kill the pale beast, help me solidify my place among my tribe, I will grant you passage through my lands, back and forth.
That's a smart move. It's a good leader decision.
I think so.
Taps's temple.
Now,
This is coming from the bonnet-wearing parasol boy.
He is.
He
wearing
still had a bonnet on.
it's kind of sweaty now after 2 days of traveling. A little salty.
parasol's a little ragged
Yeah.
too. It's been getting wind beaten and yeah.
Yep. So she nods and says, "There is still the matter of bait for the pale beast."
I could see what I might be able to track down or something. I'm a bit decent at things like that.
Very well.
See if I can.
Hezran slowly comes out behind the Hyatt lizard. "Hey, Asina. Traitor." "Yep.
Oh, you guys have met.
Yes. We were betrothed once."
Well, this is awkward.
"Yep."
Nice.
That's some tension.
This should go well.
Well,
So
at least
it's
you're not
8
chained to
on
her.
his hunt and track, I guess. If he's
All right.
gonna try and, I think he is gonna. That seems like that should be fun. Good luck. I'll be back with a large beast. He'll run off with Sandy.
I wish I could get rid of any like awkward situation in real life by saying I gotta go hunt a big beast right now. I'm like really
game
busy.
animal. I need to go track down. Sorry.
Y'all seen a bear in this area? I gotta
I mean, a bear-sized thing.
yeah, anything bear sized.
So you hunt around and hang on, I gotta find you an animal to find here.
If he
don't
can
I?
see any signs of something that he might be, he's not going to try and like immediately get to one by himself.
Right.
I think his goal would be to sort of, pop around here before going too far and see if he can see us, signs of, some wildlife. That would be
Yes, there are a few signs. It looks like that there is a small group of wild hyatt lizards that have moved into the area just recently. That you find maybe like a quarter of a mile away from the group, like find the tracks of about a quarter of a mile away from the group. Though they lead, like further into the Valley of Giants. So it would probably be unwise to try to hunt these things by yourself.
Right.
But you definitely find some tracks.
He'll come back and say, "Well, there is like, looks like an herd of the wild eye lizards. I think anyway, that are down Valley of Giants way. But if we want to like not sacrifice a mount animal for it,
I think that would be wise. No one cares what you think, traitor. We will hunt these hyatt lizards.
Yeah, traitor.
Do you
Sorry.
care? I think there's
not.
a good number of us here who care.
yeah, I'm more concerned about his opinion on things. At least he's done more for me recently than you have.
Every
Mostly you
moment
just,
I
like,
choose
not
not
do
to
it.
take your life.
Sure, but like we all make that choice, right? Every
Try
night.
I don't think you have a choice whether I live or die. I was always a better fighter than Feridus. He was a fool.
Sure.
Yeah, is this gonna keep going on while we're chained together? Like,
It's
I
going
know
to.
you had some tension, but
She
You know,
points
I-
her sword at you. You shut your mouth.
why are
No.
you so? You're very abrasive.
How are we going to find this lizard?
Well, you have a clan at least worth of 25 warriors up there, don't you?
Sure, yeah, we could just like, follow the tracks that they make in the
Fine.
sand. Anyone
Let's
points
go.
down at the ground.
She leaves
Water.
most of her tribe to watch your camp, and the 10 Hyrees, or not 10, the 6 Hyrees stay behind to basically protect the camp from the red orcs that she's leaving behind. So you, Azran, 2 red orcs, and the 3 of you guys head off to try to find these lizards. After maybe 3 hours of walking through the desert and listening to Azran and Asina fight and bicker, you finally find the small group of hyatt lizards. It looks like one of them, the matron mother of the hyatt lizard group, is a very old hyatt lizard and is having trouble keeping up with the rest of the pack. Several of them are like kind of trying to push her along and then running ahead and then coming back and kind of pushing her along, which is why the group hasn't made very good time through the desert, this portion of the desert.
Actually, really sad.
It's like Land Before Time.
No,
Mm-hmm.
Littlefoot's mom. Fuck. Star leaves still look delicious.
I don't even like leaves.
I don't even like leaves.
They just look good.
With the sparkly
Oh.
dew on the edge.
Oh yeah, it was beautiful.
Beautiful.
All right, so
man.
sir, I
I don't really know what to hunt or track or do whatever you do.
We
so-
don't want to kill it. We only want to wound it to attract the pale worm.
Right. Well, I'm worried, I guess, if we do wound one, that we may have the rest to deal with, I guess.
Are these territorial beasts, or are they more passive?
They are nomadic. They don't stick to a certain area, but if you wound one of their tribe, they may attack. But they are fairly skittish, large animals. So if we can scare them away fast enough and let the old one fall behind.
Do we have, like, anybody got, like, a way to make a bunch of very loud noises?
You see the runes on his arm start to glow.
I could maybe do something.
I mean, that's probably, like, I mean, yeah, we could just, like, startle the rest of the herd, and then she won't be able to keep up there in the back, I imagine.
Right.
This is metal as hell, by the way.
What, slaying the weak and old?
Yeah,
So metal.
brutal
It's
as
kinda
fuck, like, I
fucking
don't know,
metal.
Yeah.
Pretty metal, yeah.
It's-
This session has been pretty metal. I mean, we got faces ripped off. We got just all sorts of
sounds like
things
it's
going
Dragon
on.
Force.
Yeah,
Yeah,
right.
good, wholesome family
Good
content.
wholesome family stream here, folks. Yep. All right. Well, continue slaughtering the grandmother of this group of living creatures.
Stop.
No, it's slaughtering would imply less suffering
Oh,
than
that's
we're
right.
expecting
Yes,
to go through.
that's right. That's right.
Right.
God, you did this. Don't act like we're the bad guys.
I know.
You're the
I'm
bad
Sorry. Jalal, what are you doing?
So we have to start scaring them off, and then you can take shots at the slow one, right?
Yes.
I mean, yeah, that seems pretty reasonable.
And he'll turn to the woman he's chained to. How loud are you?
Excuse me.
And he's going to go over, pick her up, and just start swinging her around.
Okay, well, she is going to try to resist being picked
That's
up.
fine. That's fine.
First of all. So, we're going to roll strength v strength here, my friend. She rolled pretty good.
Roll. There it is. 5.
So you go over and try to lift her up, and she forces you off of her pretty impressive frame bulging, and she says, "No, whatever that was, no,
All
that's
right,
not
I
happening.
apologize. I'm
I'm
very
going to
sorry.
strangle you with this chain. if
I
you
would
ever
prefer
touch
you-
me again."
All right, that's fair. That is absolutely fair.
And he will just walk a little as far as the chain link will allow him.
What was the strategy? there?
Well, I was thinking, like, if I swung her around enough, she'd get really upset and start screaming, and that would scare the fuck out of all those high lizards.
Oh,
I mean, he looks over to them.
I can just
like
I can just give a war cry.
I like that.
guess, but that's not nearly as entertaining for us.
She
size.
she gets up on the dune and all the hyatt lizards like pop up and start running off in the direction, and of course the older one cannot keep up. In fact, it takes a few lumbering steps, and then it looks like one of its back legs breaks. It goes and then kind of rolls on its side and tries to keep going while it's calling to the rest of its herd. But Asina is already running down the dune, still shouting, which is keeping the rest of the lizards away.
I'm trailing behind, trying desperately to keep my footing in the fucking sand.
Wait, hold on. Oh, wait, just a second. Oh, fuck. Oh, all right.
I guess, I mean, I'm not sure that I really need to do a whole lot now, right? I mean, he's like got his bow ready, like, because he was gonna shoot, I think, because that was supposed to be.
Right.
I mean, she's down, right? Like, I mean, wounded or whatever there.
Don't think she's going anywhere.
Asina takes a few pot shots at the rest of the pack, and they disappear beyond two dunes. The mother lizard is still shouting and like crying out, but it's getting weaker and weaker.
You're making me feel
Wow.
real bad right now. And I ripped a man's face off.
Right?
Well, yeah, people suck.
Yeah,
They're
animals are
innocent.
just trying their goddamn best.
She sheathes her sword and nods and goes, "Good. This much noise, this large of prey. We'll find the pale worm in no time."
So like, how big is it exactly? We were sort of sketchy on details here with this great worm.
Well, it's very large. It's large enough to swallow this hide lizard whole.
That troubles me.
Really big.
Yes, very big. This will be an undertaking like none other.
I feel like maybe we should have brought more of your folks with us.
No, these two are only to witness. I have to kill it with you, Jalal.
Oh,
Wait,
like just the two of you.
Can they
Yes.
help?
No.
Oh, fuck.
This is
Well,
Good luck.
me and you.
Let me, oh boy. Well, here, comes over and, like to shake your hand, Jalal.
And he looks downtrodden. He just slowly raises his hand to shake yours.
And he casts, cure things. With
Curing cure
a
things?
9. So, with a 9, I select one. Because you didn't get sleep last night, so you didn't get any frickin' HP
Yep.
healed.
Right.
Um,
Well, you know, the pains of ripping a goddamn
I'm
man's
hoping I
face
can
off.
kill 2 birds. Hoping I can kill 2 birds with 1 stone here.
God, you're just all
So-
about killing animals, aren't you?
I go for a big ol' high-fivey slap, like what he would expect from me when I punch a trash can, right?
He's very slow to come up with.
And I cast it as our hands sort of make contact, and it draws unwelcome attention or puts myself in a spot.
Okay. So
But I
Super
will
best
roll.
friend high five shockwave.
yeah, there's like a wow. She kind of looks and narrows her eyes and goes, "Mm-hmm."
That was the
Well,
coolest I thought.
the
You
two
guys
of you-
aimed with the elbows, didn't you?
We did. The two of you are going to need whatever help you can get. I was just trying to bring him back to his peak. Nothing beyond that.
Very well.
Some kind of trickery.
She looks at the other two and they kind of go, it's fine. And she nods back at them. There
That was
is
7 HP, by the way.
It's nice. There is still the cries of the mother hyatt lizard as it's still attempting to drag itself up this dune, but it's not making any progress. Every few steps, it slides back down and makes another woeful cry. You can see that it's tearing its back leg up a little bit too, and there's spots of blood in the sand as bits of bone are coming out.
Jalal looks to her as he's witnessing this. Is there any way that that thing's going to live?
Oh, no.
You don't. It's you're not like a fisherman
bait.
at all, are you?
Right.
Well, no, but doesn't make me feel good.
Look at it this way. I'm sure she's had a long, fulfilling life of eating desert creatures.
That might be the nicest thing you've said this entire time.
Don't get used to it.
She
I
draws
know.
her sword.
Stop doing that. It ain't gonna work.
The worm will be here soon. So the plan
Okay, that's
is,
fine.
as it rises to eat, there will be a moment where most of it is exposed while it's swallowing the prey. Its weakest spots are its eyes in the very front of its head. While it swallows, we have to jump onto the worm's body. It won't go back under if we are on it. It will attempt to remove us from it.
We must make it to the head before it, well, gets us off, and then plunge our blades into its eyes.
Like,
Well,
I mean, I understand the honor thing or whatever, but like, I have a bow, and you know, physics on my side as it is and all that. It might be easier to send like an arrow into its eye than to like run
No.
across the back of it. Okay, and he just shrugs.
You two are only to watch. Me and Jalal must destroy this worm.
Jalal looks at you, sir, with pleading eyes.
This is the way.
He shrugs.
Fuck.
I mean, all right, I guess.
She turns the two and says in Red Orcish, if I do not return or if I fail, choose another and make sure this one is dead.
Is it me?
Yes, isn't you.
This bitch.
So you guys kind of stand in uncomfortable silence for about a half hour, watching this lizard slowly wreck itself further and further, trying to claw its way up the dune.
Jalal's looking away.
Okay. After a while, its hoarse cries become just large gasps of breath, but it's still dragging itself in a half circle. The ground begins to shake. Asina looks at you, Jalal,
thank God.
and says, "Get ready. This is going to be a little bit difficult."
Right.
There is the sound of a earthquake or a freight train as a thing the size of a thing with a head of the size of a small building bursts out of the sand. Its circular, teeth-filled maw making very short work of the old Hyatt lizard. It rises maybe 100 feet out of the sand, its bulk swaying and glistening in the light as it begins to swallow its prey. It swallows it much like a lamprey eel eats or a heron, where it goes grr, 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 and tries to swallow the prey whole. The mother Hyatt lizard was able to kind of go in sideways, so it's going to take the worm a little bit to fully swallow it. As it bursts out of the sand, Asina rushes forward, her blade raised.
I charge with her.
All right.
Good luck.
So,
Fuck you, sir.
as you reach the beast, she plunges her blade in. She's going to make a strength check to see if she's able to pierce its hide. I recommend you doing the same thing.
I will. So that's first.
Yes.
So you just like grabbing a handful?
No, she's stabbing it in.
No,
and-
I'm punching directly. in.
Oh, okay, yeah, that's fine. That's pretty metal too. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, it's really metal.
On a non-bladed weapon.
Yep.
Extra brutal.
5.
You getting a plus? Oh, I think that is already plussed.
Yeah, that's +2.
So she jams her blade in, but you kind of bounce off of its flesh, but you're both drug along a little bit. As you're not attached while the worm twists in response to her sword blade, you're going to take a d6 of bludgeoning damage. Shit. You take 2 damage as you kind of bounce against the sand as this thing is trying to roll you off. Roll me another strength check. Yeah.
Does armor save from that?
Yes, you bounce.
Okay.
It bounces off your armor. Yeah, you're kind of being drug along. So you're getting a lot of sand in your stuff. 10, very good. So you're able to punch into the worm. You and Asina are now firmly attached. The thing makes a gurgling roar as it's attempting to both swallow the thing in its throat and knock you guys off. It can't go back down until it swallows and knocks you off in some way. So we are going to begin climbing the nasty giant pink sandworm. So go ahead and roll me another strength check as you guys are basically, like ice picking your way up this worm. She's going to put her sword in higher. You're going to put yours in. All right, let's see if she rolls well. All right, she rolled a 6, which is barely on the edge of success. So she gets her sword a little higher, but again, you are bounced around, back and forth. At this point, you guys are about 10 feet up. So as the worm twists, you're going to go bap, 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 bap.
Oh, like bouncing off of it, basically.
Yeah. You take 3 damage that time, but I think that your
Still
armor
armor.
is still holding up. Yep.
Armor is
Um,
incredible.
Yeah, right? All right, so roll me another strength check.
7.
Ooh. All right, this time you succeeded and she failed. She's going to take the d6 of bludgeoning damage as you guys are clawing up this worm, back, each one kind of swinging free, each going back and forth. She takes 4 damage. It bloodies her nose as she slams against the beast's flesh.
I want to try to use like the chain
Mm-hmm.
to swing her higher.
Okay, yeah, go ahead. Roll me a strength check.
10.
10. All right. So you are able to use her momentum and get her like the full length of the chain up the worm. She roars and plunges her blade into it, rolling a 12 to do so. She stabs it in there and says, "Climb up the chain."
I start climbing the chain.
All right. Roll me Dex this time.
That's not as good. 6.
That's enough to get up there. So you guys are about 3/4 of the way up the worm. You're 75 feet in the air, dangling from this thing. It has almost got the Hyatt lizard swallowed. In a last-ditch effort to knock you guys off, the thing is going to body slam sideways. You are both going to take bludgeoning damage.
Can I swing to the other side where it's moving? Since I'm using the chain
Yes.
right now?
You may attempt to roll me dexterity.
Could that be a defy danger?
Sure, that'll be, yeah, actually that makes more sense. Yep.
With Dex?
Yes, with
Okay.
Dex. Actually, you can choose. You get to choose the defy danger. Yeah.
Strength then?
Yeah, go ahead. You're going to try to muscle your way out of the way of this.
Yeah.
body slam.
That's a 6.
That is enough to achieve something.
No, it is not. It's a miss.
Oh, okay, that's right. 7. Yep. All right, so yes. So let me look up defy danger again.
That's just to avoid whatever the threat is.
Oh, okay, gotcha. Yep. So you guys are both going to take the bludgeoning damage.
Only 3.
Oof. Jalal, you take 12 bludgeoning damage.
Oh my Christ. Okay.
And she takes 11 bludgeoning damage. So you guys are so the people watching, these guys are hanging up on this worm, and then the thing goes boom and then comes back up, and these two are still attached to it, but you guys are like there's a bunch of blood coming from parts of you after being body slammed by a building-sized creature. She's like coughing up teeth right now. It's not great. Go ahead and roll me another strength check as to make it all the way to the top of the worm.
Sir,
9.
Ready to drop an arrow in that
Okay.
thing's eye, if it seems like they're not having more
Gotcha.
success.
All right, you guys make it to the top of the worm. You are 100 feet in the air, swaying back and forth. You can see its toothy maw gaping and closing as it just about has finished its meal. Its eyes pale and bloodshot roil underneath you. Go ahead and roll me. Yes, roll me hack and slash. Yep.
8.
Nice. She rolled a 7. So you're both going to deal damage to it, and it's going to deal damage to you.
And I'm aiming for an eye as well.
Yes.
9 damage.
Nice. She does 8. So you guys both plunge, or you punch the eye, like you just, and she plunges her sword in. The thing roars in pain, and it's going to basically like go, and then headbutt into the ground.
Can I dodge that too? Or is
No,
it headbutting on me?
No, this is you. You rolled an 8 for defy danger, so this is it dealing its damage to you. So she the hack and slash. So she takes 7 damage and you take 5 damage. So you
Okay.
take another 2. And she takes the full 7. The worm shudders after hitting the ground, and you guys see it kind of like accordion as it hits the ground, and Jalal, you feel your fist be driven even further into its head and through the back plate of its eye socket into the mushy brain matter beneath. It rolls slightly, freeing you guys from beneath the sand. Blood and bits of Mother Hyatt lizard disgorging from its maw. You guys are covered in goop and blood, and you're not feeling great. But she rises up, sword down, and then goes like this, and roars, and
I copy her.
the 2 red orcs go, "Okay, you are chieftain," and they kneel and bow. She turns and goes, "Well, you have passage through my lands."
Actually, have proven me wrong. I didn't expect that kind of bravery from you.
Neither
You know-
are you.
Jalal, you just like went swimming in an eye. That was awesome.
Yeah, he looks down at his arm and it's like covered in what color is its blood? Like purple, I would assume.
Yeah, like a deep purple. Yep.
Can someone get me my silks? I need to wipe this off.
You really shouldn't put those near your face.
All right. Oh,
She sheaths her sword and offers a Beastmaster handshake to you, Jalal.
yeah, absolutely.
There's like that splatting sound as you guys like she says, "Thank you for allowing me to restore honor back to my tribe."
Thank you for not making me kill a whole bunch of more people and really rethink my life choices.
She nods slightly and then heads back up the dune. Azran says, It was nice to see you, Asina." And she just gives him the finger as she's walking back up the dune.
Is the chain come off now, or?
Yes. I'm sorry. I skipped that part. The 2 red orcs come up and they both whisper the word of unbonding, which undoes the chain. It gets coiled up and then she walks up the dune. And
I stop her. I stop her before she actually goes, and I reach into my pack and I pull out one of the healing potions that I have and I hand it to her.
She kind of looks at it and snorts and says, "A warrior does not heal in that way."
Right, of course. Not a real warrior, as he uncorks it and drinks it.
She nods, and then they both disappear over the dune. Azran kind of goes, "Well, that was certainly something."
Please, can we get the fuck out of these lands?
Yes,
Please.
I think that would be for the best.
Like, we've kind of got to get to a place what's in the middle of them, right?
No,
Yeah.
we need to move beyond the 3 giants, or the Valley of the Giants.
Sure.
It's another 100 miles east out of the valley.
But I mean, like, we'll still be out in the middle of the desert here.
Oh, yes. I thought he meant specifically my clan's lands.
I did. I really did.
Okay.
That's the thing I meant exactly.
Got it. Yeah, that makes sense.
These is the easy part of the travels. These sands are still soft. Once we get past the Valley of the Giants, it is going to get much harder.
Great. I feel like the easy part was kind of fucking horrible so far.
Well,
I
It
mean,
wasn't too bad for me.
yeah, I feel like it was fairly alright. All in all.
Jalal just turns to both of you and just stares daggers at you.
Azran
he just
shrugs and says, "No one told you to challenge the chieftain to a one-on-one duel."
No, he did suggest that might be a good plan.
He
Well,
asked me.
I feel as though I remember me asking and you saying, yeah, that'd be a good idea. I
In
think
the
you said that
moment,
exactly.
I didn't have enough time to explain to you the nuances of Sunite, but you know.
All right. And
custom.
he's just going to walk up to him really close and like get on his tippy toes because I assume he's taller than me. You saw what I did to the first guy's face. Just remember that. And he'll slowly start walking back to camp with like a slight limp.
You know, you also ripped the worm's face off, kind of too. So
Right? That's what I was going to say. You've got like a signature move now.
I'm gonna call you Face Ripper.
I don't think we should say that in polite company. I'd rather not be known as Jalal the Face Ripper.
Ever hung out.
All
No,
right, just Ripper.
I
How
think
about
Jalal the
Ripper?
Face Ripper has quite a good ring to it.
Yes.
All right, I'll accept it in non so polite company. I like it.
All right. All right. Yes, Face Ripper. It has a
So,
good ring
like,
to it.
What was the deal there, I guess, with that? I mean, the first time, not this one. I understood this whole bit there, but like the first bit, it seemed like maybe you sort of went totally with it while you was ripping that guy's face off.
Well, I'm going to be honest with you. I don't exactly remember what happened. I was in my fighting pose, ready to unleash hell as I normally do to trash cans, and
Trash cans don't have faces.
I don't know. I can't be trash can ripper too.
Well,
When I smeared the blood on my face, I thought it might intimidate him, and I blacked out. I don't really exactly know what happened. I kind of came to when I had a face in my hand, so I assumed it was me. I don't think Arlen was out there ripping that guy's face off.
and then
That's
put
what
it into your
put it in your
hand.
When we get back and we have some time to sit, we need to do some research on that arm of yours. I have a feeling it has something to do with.
yeah, you like look different for a bit.
Oh.
Between all the foreboding shit we were told by the lady at the
Museum.
museum, and all the things about the voices and visions and things like that, I think there's probably something at play there.
Yeah. Sometimes he doesn't shut up too, which is it's weird. But he wasn't talking at all.
Well, it's dangerous.
Yeah.
You know,
I'm seeing that
honestly,
now.
I think there might actually be something in there.
Copying what she did, he turns and starts walking back to camp and just flips you off. Over his shoulder.
And
Let's
that
get
is-
back to camp.
That is a perfect place to end the
Yep.
session there tonight. Absolutely
So it's
perfect.
just like, what?
What? I knew it. All right, guys. Thank you for showing up and taking part. This is a lot of fun. This has been Old for Gold, an Irrational Radio project. We do this every Monday night at 9:30 CST. So check us out next week as they continue their eastward journey through the desert. See what ridiculous shit I make them do next time. If you want to check us out sooner than that, we are doing Table 13 on Thursday at 10 o'clock CST. So, yeah, we are doing some community questions that have been asked, and or topics, I guess, community topics that one of the people in our community has requested. So more information about that soon. Otherwise, again, join our Discord, check out our other projects, and throw us a couple of bucks if you can spare it. This has been Irrational Radio. Thank you so much for checking us out, and we'll see you again soon.
Don't get your face ripped off.
Don't get your face ripped off, and stay away from people that rip faces. This has been your public service announcement. Goodbye!